Hey YouTube, it's time for another episode of NC Socks. So the last time I did an episode where I talked about my pet peeves, it went over pretty well, and I think a lot of you guys enjoyed it. So I'm going to talk about a couple more of the pet peeves that I have had over the years. So without any further ado, let's get right into the first one. This is a 4-part pet peeve, and it's actually 5 parts because my 5th pet peeve is that this is such a simple thing that there should not be 4 pet peeves about it. And that thing is doors. Okay, so I have so many problems with doors, and they should be really simple, right? Like, they have one purpose. The purpose is for people to go through them so you can get from one room to the next, or inside to outside, or whatever, right? You're supposed to open a door, close a door, lock a door, go through a door, whatever, right? You should be able to do those 4 basic things. It's not really all that hard. Yet, whoever manufactures doors, or puts doors into buildings, does a really bad job of it most of the time. So my first one is doors that don't open. So there are some doors out there where if you have like double doors or something, only the left one will open or only the right one will open or whatever. Only one of the doors will open, which I think is completely ridiculous. If it's a door and it has a doorknob, I want to be able to open it and get through. I don't want to have to try pulling on it for 20 minutes only to have somebody come up to me and say, oh, yeah, that one doesn't open, try the other one. Like, I think that's ridiculous. I should be able to open this door and get through it, and then we'll all be happy, right? Like, I don't know why you would ever make a door that doesn't open, seeing as that is the sole purpose of a door. But okay, maybe I can let that one slide, okay? Let's say I go up to one of these sets of double doors, right? I try opening the right one, I pull on it, I push on it, whatever, it doesn't open. So then I'm like, okay, I'll try the left one, see what happens. So I go to the left door, and then I decide, okay, I'm going to pull this door. There's a doorknob on it, I'm just going to pull it open. And then it doesn't open, turns out you have to push it. Why isn't it obvious? It should always, I think every single door in the world should tell you if it's push or pull. Otherwise, if it doesn't, I think it should go either way. I think you should be able to push or pull any door that doesn't tell you if it's push or pull. Because how would you know? Like, I've noticed almost every time I use a door that's only one push or pull, I almost always get it wrong. And I think that's just so ridiculous because there's a 50-50 chance, and it just seems like all the time I'm getting it wrong. To be fair, I probably don't notice the times I get it right, so it's probably some skewed data there, but whatever, I feel like I get it wrong way more than I should, and I think that's a problem because doors should just open. You shouldn't have to figure out which way to open them. But people on this planet have come so far that a lot of us are just past doors, Who needs doors that you push and pull? That takes too much work, right? Too much thought. Which way do you go? So people have created automatic doors, which are this wonderful technology where you just step in front of the door and it opens automatically. Now, I have 2 problems with some automatic doors. Now, this isn't all of them. I think in general, automatic doors are the way of the future and every door should be automatic, ideally. But there are definitely some problems with them. So I've seen way too many times doors that say they're automatic, you step up to them, and then they just don't open. Like, if it's automatic, it should be opening. I don't want to stand here and look like an idiot and wait for this door to open when it's not going to. And it says automatic in big letters on the door, and it just doesn't open. So, that's my first problem with automatic doors. This is also kind of a side thing. I don't know if you guys see this, and I don't know if this is everywhere or just near where I live, or maybe just in the US, but on a lot of automatic doors, it says caution in the middle, and then it says automatic on the top and door on the bottom. I always read that as automatic caution door. I don't know if that's just me. I don't know, that always trips me up. But anyway, that's not really a pet peeve, but figured I'd throw it in there. But anyway, the second pet peeve about automatic doors is if they are automatic, they're so slow half the time. So some of these automatic doors, they're the kind where you actually have to push a button. So they're not really automatic. You still push a button and then they'll open. And I think that's okay. I can deal with that. A lot of these automatic doors, I've noticed this especially at the libraries near me. All of these libraries, the automatic doors are so slow. Like, it takes like 10 seconds for one of these doors to open after you push the button. And, I feel like it's always like you're doing someone a favor when you hold the door open for them, right? So people have extended this to these automatic doors where they're like, oh, I'll push the button for you, don't worry about it. but then you're just standing out there awkwardly with them for 10 seconds while you wait for the door to open. And they're really not doing a favor, they're just making it really, really awkward for both of you. So at this point, I've gotten to the point where if I see one of those buttons, I just completely ignore it and pull the door open with brute force, because I can't handle waiting there in that awkward situation for that long. And then, of course, when I try to pull it, it turns out it's actually a door that you have to push. So I try pushing it, and then it turns out it's one of those doors that doesn't actually open, and it's just there for show. So then I just get really mad at all of society and just walk away from the door entirely. Okay, fine, that's an exaggeration, but still, doors should definitely be better for a human society that has been around for thousands of years. Okay, so those are my door pet peeves. I'm going to go through a couple more pet peeves that I have that hopefully some of you guys can relate to. So all of my pet peeves are really minor, and this one definitely is. But it's just that really awkward moment when you're talking to someone and then you say, okay, see you later, and then you walk in the same direction. Like, that's the worst feeling ever. Like, you just, you had this great conversation, you say bye, and then you're just walking with them. And you're not allowed to talk to them anymore because you already said bye, right? So then you're just walking with them in the same direction and hoping that one of you will just turn away until it finally ends and one of you leaves. But I don't know, that's happened to me way more times than I'd like to admit. And at this point, honestly, I just talk about how awkward that is because really that's all you can do in a situation like that. Okay, now here's another pet peeve of mine. So this relates to clocks. And so if you have a clock and somebody asks you, what time is it? You might say, it's 3:54 p.m., but my clock is 5 minutes fast. And then you leave them in a state of complete confusion because they don't know whether it's 3:49 or 3:59. Personally, I always have so much trouble understanding what people mean when they say a clock is fast or a clock is slow. Because first of all, that's just the entirely wrong terminology. You should be saying it's ahead or behind. Because if a clock is fast, that means maybe for every 60 seconds, it goes 61 seconds, right? It's going a little too fast. So you're always going to lose a little bit of time there. And if a clock is slow, maybe for every 60 seconds it goes 59 seconds or something like that. And that's not really how clocks work. It's always 60 seconds in a minute. It's just that some of them will be a little bit ahead or a little bit behind because when you set them, you didn't really care to be exact. And I'm sure there are some clocks that are actually fast or slow, but this doesn't apply to them. I'm talking about the ones where they're really not. So personally, I think you should always say, this clock is 5 minutes ahead, or this clock is 5 minutes behind, because if a clock is 5 minutes fast, that doesn't mean anything to me. Are you telling me it goes 5 minutes in every minute? Fast and slow indicates speed, whereas ahead and behind indicates position, and there's a big difference between those in my mind, and I just have a lot of trouble figuring out what people mean when they say that. So now, a lot of you guys listening to this are cubers, so I'm sure you can relate to this last one I'm going to talk about, especially if you talk about cubing on the internet and have been exposed to trolls before. Basically, I just have a lot of trouble with people who tell someone to get a life. I think that phrase, get a life, it's just such a cop-out insult. Right? You're telling this person who's doing what they love to get a life. I just don't understand that at all. I see it a lot of times on cubing world record videos because those are the ones that always go viral and get non-cuber attention. Very frequently in the comment sections of these videos, I see things like, oh, well, this isn't going to get you anywhere in life, or how are you going to get a job solving plastic toys? Not everything is about getting a job or being successful. A big part of life is just being happy with what you're doing. And I think that's something that a lot of people on the internet don't seem to understand. Just because somebody does something that you don't consider productive or that you personally wouldn't enjoy doing doesn't mean that it's not fulfilling for them and that it doesn't make their life better. Also, it seems really hypocritical when people say this kind of stuff because they're using their time commenting mean things on random YouTube videos. You could definitely be doing something better with your life, something more fulfilling that would actually make you happy as a person. So, if you're one of these people who ever comments stuff like that, the next time you're going to do that, just, take a step back, find something you love to do, and do that, because it will make you a much happier person than if you try to criticize someone else for doing what they love. Okay, so those are all the pet peeves I'm going to be talking about in this video. Hopefully it didn't get too heated for you guys, and hopefully you still enjoyed my rant. But yeah, I definitely have some more pet peeves, and I'll keep thinking of some for the next pet peeve video if you want to hear some more. So let me know if you enjoyed this in the comments below. But other than that, that's about it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on my next video.